everyone, this is Loco S, and welcome to this Ace Combat livery tour video for DCS World. Today we're covering F-14 Tomcat skins from countries other than Ustio, because we covered pretty much all of the Ustio skins that we could whenever we did that a couple months, weeks ago. Probably been a couple of months at this point, at the time this video gets released. So we're going to go ahead and start with Belkan and their famous Schnee Squadron. This is the Belkan Air Force 22nd Air Division, 4th Tactical Fighter Squadron Schnee from Ace Combat 0. This one's done by user Billy the Kid, and this is pretty much a full recreation of the Tomcat skin in Ace Combat 0 for the Schnee team. You have the white nose, gray body, some white details, and striping throughout, along with a little bit of black thrown in. And it's a really cool striking skin, both in Ace Combat 0 and here, faithfully recreated in DCS World. You can also see on the tail, you have those three stripes there that are layered in color, with the Schnee Squadron's emblem right there. Also, the Belkan Rondel here is a low visibility Rondel, which makes sense. It fits very well with Schnee's black and white coloration. It's a really cool little detail. And also of note is that each individual pilot, each individual aircraft in this ship, because he actually went ahead and recreated all 4 of Schnee's squadron members in this skin pack, has their own unique names. So you also have the Belkan Rondel. Also of note, before we go on, Belkan Rondel on the front. You have the Jolly Roger style ribbon also on the front, and Belkan Air Force on the back. So you have flight member 003, number 2 005, number 3 with 006, and you have flight members number 4 with 009. And again, all 4 flight members have their own unique names. They have their own unique Rio names as well. Go over, let's see if we can kind of cheese it a little bit closer. So you can definitely see different names compared to the original one. Compared to each individual one has their own unique names, which is pretty cool. And it's a really cool skin. The only reason I don't fly it quite as often is that quite frankly, I need more Winter Tomcat maps. I need to make some more of those for myself to use this skin on, because it looks really cool in this Winter Wonderland here. But in general, it's a really cool skin to use regardless. We're going to go ahead and do another user Billy the Kid skin. This is also another Belkan skin. This one is the 4th Naval Air Division, VFA 124 Kraken Hunters. Again, done by user Billy the Kid, as you will find out most of these skins today are. The flight leader has a yellow tail details with a little bit of yellow on the top and a stripe. You also have the high-vis Belkan Rondel and the squadron emblem in front of that. On the tail, high-vis Belkan Rondels on the wings. On the nose. You have fixed board numbers as well. Probably see a little bit better from here. It's a bit. I think this is a German-style board numbering, where you are tail numbering where you have AG83. Again, this is the flight leader, so you need a port number for each of these aircraft, because these also, like Schnee Squadron, have individual names for each of the individual aircraft in the squadron. You also have since these are all individual flight members of the squadron, you also have individual kill markings. So see those down below right there. And then we're going to go on to number 2. Number 2 again has individual kill markings, as well as individual names on the canopy. The canopy bow. Not bow, but on the bottom of the canopy. You have, again, high-vis Belkan Rondels, but instead of yellow on the tail, you have white. And you also have white on the vertical stabilizer down below. And it's number 2, number 3, and number 4. And hopefully those kill markings show up. Something I always keep on forgetting is I can see it here, but I know sometimes YouTube compression might mess with that. So, but every one of these Belkan, every one of these skins from the Belkan, the Kraken hunters, from the Belkan Navy, they each one of them has their own individual name and their own individual kill markings. So we're going to move from Belka onto another, at least from the player's perspective, antagonist faction. We have the Erusian skin here, also done by user Billy the Kid. The Aegir Knights VFA 106. She's based off of Giafon as well. You have the red tail the red vertical stabilizers down below, which is pretty cool. Up top, you have a lot of white low-vis stenciling with the Erusian rondels on the wings and on the tail. FB, you have the checkerboard rudder, which is pretty cool. This has a fixed port number of 406. And also you have the high-vis Erusian Navy marking and Squadron patch, which is pretty cool. And this is also a really cool skin because it's a light blue, so like a bluish gray and like a darker bluish gray. And it's but it's in a dazzle configuration as compared to other ones where sometimes it's more of that like rounded camouflage with the camouflage is molted or like has the rounded edges. This one has like the very sharp edges. It's like a very like a nice just came up with the word. It's like a really much like a more like a haphazard like chaotic skin coloration, skin pattern. Also, on the lower half, I should admit, the nose and the lower half is also sort of an off-white, so it's also a cool two-toned skin where like the bottom is different than the top, and that's pretty cool. You also have low-vis Osean Erusian rondels, rather, and don't have unique kill marks on either of these, but you do have unique names, which is pretty cool. So, number 1 has 406, and number 2 in the flight, this two-man flight, has, again, different names for the Rio and pilot. Not too much differences between number 1 and number 2 other than the names and stuff like that. Another Erusian skin, also done by user Billy the Kid, is VFA 114 Tridents. This one is definitely it's less blue gray and more just more of a pure light gray and darker gray. But the tail is also sort of like a very dark gray as well. The tail has some beautiful art on it. I'm gonna get to the I'll go to the other side to show it off a bit better. And you have a FB on the inside of the tails, which is pretty cool. Nice, it's always nice to see detail on the inside of the tails. You have Tridents written up top. You have the orange Erusian flag, which is a nice little detail on the rudder. You have the seahorse of the Trident for its squadron marking, which is really cool. This one has a port number of 164. FES Giafon on the rudder. Also on the engine cowling, you have Giafon. And its rondels are the bright orange Erusian rondel, which is pretty cool. On this grayer skin, adds a little bit more color where you need it. Also, this pilot has kill markings of her own, and there's only one ship of these of the Trident Squadron. That's still pretty cool. Just to even have more variation on the carrier deck between Tridents and the Aegir Knights. Plus, also, in a previous video I covered, we also have a whole bunch of Hornet Squadrons for Erusia, so it's cool to have this many squadrons for Erusia, even though they only had one. I think they only had 2 named carriers. I know there's Freya and Giafon are the 2 ones I have come on top of my mind. So going to Erusia's opponent, we have ISAF, at least for Ace Combat 4, their opponent. It's a light bluish gray skin for this one. Again, this is a Billy the Kid skin. This is 831 Naval Air Squadron Vanguards. This is a 2 skin pack. This is the flight leader, obviously, here. Flight leader has a bit of a brighter blue tail compared to the lighter gray coating on the rest of the aircraft. You have white tails. You have the light details on the leading edge, the white checkerboard mark. the flight leader also has this really cool, I would say it's sort of like a, it's not really a decal, but it's a really cool way that they present their squadron logo and information. Instead of it being like individual stencils, it's sort of like this black field with like the yellow trim. That's pretty cool. You have the ISAF in gold, you have the Vanguards in gold, you have the Squadron, and the Squadron patch in pretty big, nice, bold colors. Pretty cool. You have 134's its fixed port number, high-vis ISAF rondel on the left wing, and on either side of the nose. The black nose on the Tomcat's also really cool. And this one, as the flight leader, has its own, he has his own kill markings, including 2 ships, which is really cool to see. UFS St. Arc on the, I want to say that's near the glove, near the glove pylons, which is pretty cool. A little bit of detail writing for the squadron down there on the vertical stabilizer down below. We're going to go and see a little more from it from this angle before we go to the next one, which is the standard issue skin. It's a lot more plain, but it's also it's also like a really nice lower key skin. You have ISAF rondels in that bright blue. Vanguards stenciled simply on the side. Nice, simple, but nice clean skin. And again, because this is a more generic standard issue skin, there are no kill markings or a pilot name on the written on the side. But you do have ISAF written on the side, which is pretty cool. So, on to building the kids' last skin, we have VF-122 Black Panthers. This is a lighter blue as compared to the Vanguard skin, but its tail art's actually a little more interesting because you have the ISAF rondel just stenciled in white on a blue background, and then you have like the Panther, and then you have the Squadron emblem down below. You have its carrier marking on the rudder, which is pretty cool. You have ISAF written down below there too. You have the ISAF rondel in bright blue there. Lower half of this is painted white, but the majority of this is that kind of like a lighter blue skin tone, which is pretty cool. Not too many markings on near the cockpit or the front, but that's pretty nice. Again, it's a nice clean look. You have the nose, which is all black, which is again really cool in these ISAF skins. That their noses are either like either dark gray or pitch black, and then you have a colored body for the rest of it. And that's pretty much it for the ISAF skin. Also, I do notice that the tips of the tails are also sort of like a lighter blue color, which gives a little bit more definition to an otherwise monotone skin. So even though, like I said, I do like skins that are also, if you pick one nice color throughout the majority of the skin, you still have these nice little details you add in just to give it a little more pop. So that's it for building the kid's skin. He's done Belkan, he's done Erusian, he's done ISAF. On that note, we actually have started with Belkan, so we're going to go ahead and finish this series off with Belkan's opponent, which is Ustio. And this time we're going to go for the 6th Auxiliary Fighter Unit Hammerhead by user Mr. Sir 46. And with a lot of Mr. Sir's 46's Auxiliary Fighter Unit squadrons, it's sort of a mercenary outfit. So he has each individual aircraft has their own skin, but this time he only's made one. But it's a Tomcat, so it's already like a two-man team in one aircraft, which is fine because you can definitely imagine a mercenary outfit only having one Tomcat and a whole bunch of other quote-unquote cheaper fighters. You have the Valet Air Base code, which is always nice to see. You have the Hammerhead Shark up there, the 6th Ustio Air Division skin. You have the ISAF Ustio flag on the rudder, Ustio Air Force written on the one wing, Ustio Rondel on the other. You have, and also the skin that has this really nice two-tone of a lighter gray and a darker gray and sort of a more wavy pattern. It's not a molted pattern where it's like splotches all over. This is very much, you can kind of tell like there's sort of like a wave to it, which is really cool because Hammerhead Shark, you have waves. The two colors that they picked for this also work really well. You have getting to where there's a nose, I'll go over the kill markings in a second. On the nose, you have a really cool shark mouth, And I really like this because you have the shark mouth going around the nose, but then it also goes over where the where the gun pops out for the gun port. So that's really cool. You can have the gun firing and it's like shooting out from the mouth. Also of note, fixed port number of 092, which is fine. And also you have the 2 pilots who are named. And the Rio is the one here that gets all the kills, and it goes to show you who's the real boss of this aircraft. And lastly, before I give, I'm going to give one last look around here. We're lastly going to cover Galm 1 skin. So the Galm 1 skin is, again, a recreate, like a lot of the quote-unquote hero pilot, a lot of like the main character pilots of Ace Combat, whenever they get a skin in DCS, they usually go after like what their skin was in the game, and that's done here as well. So this is Galm 1's skin in Ace Combat 0, faithfully recreated in DCS by user Flogger23M. He's a user that I don't think I've seen too much. He doesn't post as prolifically, and it might be even a while since he last posted. But he's done some pretty interesting skins, especially some pretty important skins like covering for like Galm Team, Yellow Team, stuff like that. Oh, Yellow Squadron, stuff like that. Like also, I think he did Galt, not Galt, Gleb. Yeah, he did Gleb Squadron. So here you have Galm 1. Again, it's very much faithfully recreated from Ace Combat 0, and 0 based theirs off of obviously good old infamous Jolly Roger skin. So you have the Galm 1. This is really cool how they did this one though. They had the Galm 1 Galm Dog in white with a gray nose on a black background, and you have light air base written on the rudder with yellow tips of the wings. 032, which is computer like stubbed here for a second, for whatever reason. Anyways, you have 032, which is his tail number, and you have ciphers. Let's see, you don't have cipher written on the canopy bow. That's fine. Again, Ace Combat 0, they wouldn't have had that detail written in there anyways, but you do have ciphers tail code, which works just as well. And also you have the you also have the infamous stripe going up to the side of the cockpit with the Ustio Rondel instead. And also, in general, you have nice little details like the Ustio Air Force marking down on the engine. 032 also on the the bottom stabilizer. Overall, this is a really nice basic skin, but it looks really sharp in Cypher's colors. It's a really good touch. You can also have, you can even have a team up between one for Ustio. You can have Cipher flying one Tomcat, and then you can have the Hammerhead auxiliary fighter unit on the other, and you can have the two of them team up on a mission. So you still have plenty of options for Ustio Tomcats, especially if you want to do a 2-ship operation. So with that being done, we've wrapped up the F-14 Tomcat skins for nations outside of OSEA. We're going to continue obviously on this little path, covering skins that have been released, all that kind of fun stuff. The description will, as always, host the links to these skins, and you can always check the annotations too if you need to check that. And until next time, this is LockOS, signing out.